5 ways our generation messed up parenting from a mom of 5 and a certified conscious parent coach. Listen all the way through because number 1 is the most important. Number 5, social media. We knew it was bad for our kids, but we didn't really pay attention when they were telling us years ago that this was going to be a problem. And here we are now parenting kids in their late teens and early 20s who are struggling, and as a result of being on social media too soon and too often. Listen up, parents of younger kids. Oh, and by the way, bring your own technology. When our public school system went to that several years ago, I thought to myself, oh my God, what are they thinking? Allowing kids to bring their phones and use them during the school day. This absolutely has to be horrific for education. Number 4, we overscheduled our kids. In an effort to make sure that they were on the club team and working towards that scholarship, because God forbid college education would be reasonably priced, we were pushing our kids into a particular sport, and all the sports are now, you have to spend so much time getting good at them, right? Do you remember the good old days when we grew up and you could do like basketball in the winter, baseball in the spring, tennis in the summer, and football in the fall, and you got to learn a variety of things? We all know it's not like that anymore. We also overscheduled them because we wanted them to be well-rounded, and we didn't want them missing out on, say, when they were getting ready for their SATs, to make sure that they were fully prepared. We got them a tutor. We got them all the things. I also think privately that we overscheduled because it was a badge of busy. And for whatever reason, moms needed to feel that they were really busy. Because if they were really busy, then their kids were like doing all the things. Number 3, I'm telling you, these kids are coming into the world more sensitive, more open-minded, and more fluid in all aspects of their lives. Boys are very sensitive, and we have done a shitty job in the past trying to help them understand their emotions, let alone express them. And then we also were pushing the girls because girls were treated not as fairly as boys, right? And that's a thing. Don't argue that. I get it. But also now it's like we've leaned so far to the girls that the boys are being left behind. Number 4, we all know we live in a fucked up world, right? There is so much, not to dwell on it, but the pandemic, school shootings. Did we grow up with shooter drills, lockdown drills? No. I mean, this is nuts. And you can't tell me that this doesn't weigh on our kids when they walk in the school door, whether they're in elementary school or high school or college. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what age. Not to mention going to a movie or even just walking around the mall. We've gotten to a place where nobody feels safe and we don't trust the information coming at us. These young people are catching on early because they're getting informed because they're spending so much time on the internet. And number 5, our inability to look within ourselves and work on our own shit as parents has caused us to project it onto our kids. Someone mentioned that in the comments yesterday, and they're absolutely right. We grew up under the dominant parenting paradigm where parent was here, child was here, you weren't necessarily seen and heard for who you were. So when you made natural mistakes and unhealthy choices as you grew up, we were reprimanded, we were made to feel ashamed of that, rather than it's just part of growing up. So consequently, as adults, we don't have the ability to look within ourselves because we feel ashamed. And that's inadvertently been projected onto our children. But it's never too late. I believe in us. I believe we can change the way that we're parenting.